Hi guys, here is a detailed cutting tutorial on how you can easily draft and cut your bustier even as a beginner. Okay, watch this video to the end to learn the easy steps on your preset dart pattern drafting, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, so let's get started. So guys, to start off with this video tutorial, on my pattern paper here is the shoulder line, okay, the bust line, under bust line, waistline and the blouse length or the hem line. Okay, mind you that my pattern paper here is on fold. Then I'm going to take horizontal border measurements. So from the shoulder line to my bust line here is 10 inches, to the under bust line here is 13 inches, down to the waistline or my half length is 15.5 inches. Then to the hemline, you take to your desired hemline. So what I have here is 17.8 inches. Okay, then the next thing that we are going to do here is to take our shoulder measurement. So my shoulder measurement of 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches, which is this point here. Okay, I'm also going to take my front neckline width, which is 3.5 inches. To my shoulder point here, I'm going to go down here by 1 inch for my shoulder slope point. Okay, and from my shoulder slope point, I'm going to move down by 8 inches to take my armhole length, which is this point. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my point. And this line here will serve as the chest line. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to take our armhole curve. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to get my armhole midpoint, which is 4 inches. Then from my marked point, I'm going to move in here by 1 inch, which is this point here. Then coming over to the chest line, I'm going to take my bust circumference, and my bust circumference of 34 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5 inches, which is this point here. Then I'm also going to add 1.5 inches. Okay, 1.5 inches hemming allowance. Then I'm going to connect these 3 points together. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to take my front neckline. For my front neckline length, I'll be moving down here by 4 inches, which is this point here. Then you are the one to decide the type of neck design that you want. Okay, so here I'll be crafting a round neckline. Okay, so guys, next thing I'm going to do here is to take my bust palm measurement or my nipple to nipple measurement. My bust palm of 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark 4 inches at the bust line, then take it down to the hemline. Okay, and the next thing to do here is to create my dart legs. So coming over to the bust line here, I'm going to move down here by 1 inch. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll move down here by 1 inch. Then to the under bust line, okay, from my nipple to nipple line, I'm going to take out to the center front. I'll be taking out 1/2 inch. Okay, I'll be taking out 1/2 inch. Then to the side front of my bustier at the under bust, I'll be taking out 1.5 inches. Okay, which is this point here. Down to the waistline, to the center front, I'll be taking out 1/2 inch. Then to the side front, I'll take out 1 inch. Okay, at the hemline here, I'm going to extend my waistline dart point to the hemline. Then go ahead and connect my marked points. Okay, so guys, this is it for our dart. Then the next thing to do here, from my armhole point, okay, midpoint, I'm going to connect it to meet my bust point. Okay, so I'll use my curve ruler to connect my points. Can you see what I'm doing? Then I'm going to take my armhole dart. So at my armhole midpoint here, I'm going to take out 1 inch from both sides. Okay, then from my marked point, I'm going to connect it to the bust point. Okay, just the way you see me doing it here. So guys, can you see what we have here? Okay, then the next thing to do here is to extend the third dart leg of our armhole curve by 2 inches. So here I'm going to place my tape this way to take out 2 inches, okay, which is this point here. Then I'm going to extend the third dart leg. The extended armhole is the armhole that we are making use of, okay. So this part I will be cutting out this part, okay. Can you see what we have here? Okay, the same applies to the underbust. This dart we are cutting it out, okay. Then the next thing that I'm going to do here is to take out the side dart. So at the bust line here, I'm going to move down here by 1 inch. You can equally move down by 1.5 inches if you are a plus size or cutting for a plus size. So I'm moving down here by 1 inch, okay. Then I'll go ahead to connect my point. I'm also taking out this part out, okay. Can you see what we have here? Then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body measurements. So coming over to the bust line, my bust circumference of 34 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5 inches, which is this point. For our dart here, we took out 2 inches, so I'm going to replace that 2 inches, that allowance, which is this point here, then add 1 inch hemming allowance, okay. Can you see what we have here, which is this point? Then to the underbust, my underbust circumference of 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inches, which is this point here. Then I'm going to measure my dart space, okay. So my dart space at the underbust is 2 inches, so I'm going to replace that 2 inches dart space, okay, which is this point. Then add 1 inch hemming allowance, okay, which is this point here. Down to the waistline, my waistline circumference of 28 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches, which is this point here. Then I'm also going to measure my dart space. So my dart space here is 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to replace it, okay. So I'll take my 1.5 inches dart space, then add 1 inch hemming allowance, which is this point here, okay. So at the hemline here, I'm also going to retake my waistline circumference. So my waistline circumference of 28 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches, which is this point here. Then I'm going to measure my dart space. So my dart space here is 1.5 inches. So I'll add it up 1.5 inches, then add 1 inch hemming allowance. Then I'll go ahead and connect all my marked points. So guys, can you see what we have here? Okay, then I'm also going to create a new armhole, okay. Can you see what we have here for our princess dart bustier pattern? Okay, then I'll go ahead now and cut it out. And after cutting, this is what I have for my princess dart bustier pattern for the front pattern. This is the center front and the side front, okay. The side front, can you see what we have here? This is a simple and a basic way to cut your princess dart bustier pattern. Then let's go ahead and cut for the back pattern, okay. So guys, to draft for the back pattern, on my pattern paper here, I've gone ahead to take my horizontal measurement, okay, and for my zipper allowance, what I have here is 1.2 inches, okay, for my zipper allowance. Then the next thing I'm going to take here is to take my armhole curve, okay. Coming over to my armhole line here, I'm going to take my armhole midpoint, which is 8 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 4 inches. So this point here is my armhole midpoint, okay. Then at the chest line, I'm going to take my bust circumference, and my bust circumference of 34 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5 inches, which is this point. Then I'm also going to add 1.5 inches here, okay. Then I'll go ahead and create my armhole curve. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to take my bust palm measurement. Okay, for the back pattern, I'm going to take my bust palm. So coming over to the bust line, I'm going to take my bust palm of 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark 4 inches down to the hemline. Then the next thing to do here is coming over to the hemline of my nipple to nipple line. I'm going to take out 0.6 inches as to create my dart legs. Okay, so at the center front, I'm going to take out 0.6 inches, and at the side front, I'm also going to take out 0.6 inches, which is this point here. Okay, from my bust point, I'm going to connect it as to create my back pattern dart legs. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? Next thing to do here is from my armhole midpoint, I'm going to connect it to meet my bust point here. Okay, can you see what we have here? Okay, from my armhole midpoint here, I'm going to move up here by 1 inch. Okay, which is this point here. This is to create my armhole dart. Okay, then I'm going to connect it. Then the next thing to do here is to the first armhole point here, I'm going to extend it by 1 inch. Okay, so I'll be taking out this part. Okay, and this part. So guys, to avoid my precise dart bulge, okay, at the bust point for the back pattern, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, at the bust point here, I'm going to move out here by 1/2 inch. Okay, which is this point. Then I'm going to blend it using freehand. Okay, I'll also be cutting out for this part. Okay, the next thing to do here is to take my basic body measurement. Okay, so coming over to the bust line, my bust circumference of 34 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5 inches, which is this point here. Okay, remember that we subtracted 1/2 inch here. Okay, also we took out 1 inch here. Okay, so I'm going to add up 1.5 inches as my dart space, which is this point, then add 1 inch hemming allowance. Okay, which is this point. To the underbust, my underbust circumference of 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inches, which is this point. Then I'm also going to add up 1.5 inches that space here, then add 1 inch hemming allowance. Okay, to the waistline, my waist circumference of 28 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches. Okay, then I'm also going to add 1.5 inches that space. Okay, then add 1 inch hemming allowance. Okay, to the hemline here, I'm going to take my waist circumference. So my waist circumference of 28 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches, which is this point. Then what I have here is 1.2 inches at the hemline that space. Okay, so I'm going to add it up here, 1.2 inches, then add 1 inch hemming allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and connect all my marked points. Can you see what we have here? Okay, then I'll also create a new armhole here for the back pattern. So for the back pattern neckline, I'll be moving down here by 1.5 inches. Okay, which is this point. Then I'll also go ahead and curve for my back pattern neck. From my zipper allowance marked point, I'm going to draw a straight line to connect my 1/2 inch marked point. Also, okay, just the way you see me doing it here. Okay, at the bust point here, I'm going to move in here by 1/2 inch. Okay, 1/2 inch, which is this point here. Then from my 1/2 inch mark point, I'm going to measure 1.2 inches, which is for my zipper allowance, which is this point here. Okay, then I'm also going to create a new zipper allowance. So I'm taking out this part. Okay, so guys, this is what we have for the back pattern. Okay, this is for the back. This is how to draft your back pattern princess bustier. Then let's go ahead and cut this out. So guys, after cutting, this is what I have for the back pattern. So guys, after cutting for both the front and the back pattern, this is what I have. Okay, do well to subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. And if you have any question regarding to this tutorial, drop it on the comment section. I'll be there to attend to you. Thank you guys for watching and see you on my next video tutorial.